Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Come on in and get comfortable. Welcome back to my channel, Jaleesa, Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. I see the first commenter here. Hey, Kiana, how you doing? Y'all, we're going to talk for like 10 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and start reading. The reason why I wanted to do a live stream today is because, I don't know if you all know this, but I have a kind of book club or buddy reading group, and it's called Buddy Reads with Reading Beyond the Book Cover. And the first book that we chose to read for the year is Across That Bridge by John Lewis. Now, that book is nonfiction, and nonfiction is not my jam most of the time because, like I said in my description, I sometimes feel like I'm doing homework when I'm reading nonfiction. So to keep me on task, I need company. So that's why I am asking you all to join me today and get some reading done. Hopefully, I make a good dent into it. It's not a big book, but still, like it's nonfiction. So I'm going to do that today. I plan to be here for maybe like 3 hours, something like that. So we're going to do 30 minutes and then maybe like a 10 or 15-minute break and then 30 more minutes. And we're just going to, back and forth, back and forth. This is my first time using YouTube to stream. I don't know how to share my screen with it. Oh, I'm lying. Okay, I can share my screen. That's good. So I'm going to share my screen. And then hopefully all goes well. Fingers crossed. Let me read some of these comments. I don't know if can I show it on here? Hey y'all, so let's see. Oh, I have to click each one. How do you do that? This thing is asking me if I want to like put people in timeout. I don't want to put Kiana in timeout. If anybody in the comments knows how to use what do you call it? What is the thing called? YouTube stream. Let me know. Is there a way to show the comments? I'm not sure. I don't think it's like StreamYard where you can show the comments. So if that's the case, that's fine. I don't mind. I'll just go through and read each comment and then respond to each one like I usually would do. Feel free to talk to each other in the comments. Like I said, we're going to be here for about 10 minutes before we start reading. In the comments, let me know what book you'll be reading. If you won't be reading, what are you going to try to get done? What are you going to try to get done during sprints? And another question, if you did finish reading a book recently, what was it? So yeah, say hello to each other in the comments. Shout out to me as well if you want to. Don't forget to like, thumbs up. And if you just popping in real quick, that's good too. Pop in, say hello, and then, go about your business. It's fine. I'm going to be here for a while, so you feel free to return. Let's see. So we have Nate Godfrey said, good evening, Jaleesa. Hey, Nate. That's my sister. Hey, Trisha. This is because I'm reading says hello. Hi there. I've never seen you before around here. I think you're a new subscriber. So how are you? Introduce yourself. A lot of thoughts. That is Stephanie. I believe it's Stephanie. Hey, my connection isn't great, but I want to at least say hey. Hi. Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Wilma Washington says, praise the Lord. That's my mother, if you all don't know. Hey, Wilma. Good to see you. Wait, not Wilma. Hey, Mama. It's good to see you. Kiana says hello to Miss Washington, like I said, which is my mother. Okay, woman said I can view the comments. Hello, buddies. Let's see, this is because I'm reading. Oh, I know what it is. Sabrina. Hey, Sabrina. She said, still reading Escaping Exodus. Okay. Escaping Exodus, if you all don't know, it's a sci-fi book. It's by Nikki Drayden. Really good. I only read the first book. There's a second one, so check it out. If you're new here, what I usually try to do is I make note of any booktubers that are in the comment section. And then I also make sure that if you all mention any kind of books that you're currently reading or read recently, I make note of it so that I can put it in the description bar so that if anybody is watching the replay, they have easy access to all the books that are mentioned, as well as all the booktubers that have come to the live stream. Kiana says, I finished The Vampire Lestat. It had some boring parts. Oh no. So if it was boring, it had some boring parts, does that mean that you are thinking of not continuing the series, or are you thinking about maybe continuing the series, even though that one was boring? Because maybe it just suffered from like a, not necessarily middle book, but like second book syndrome. You know what I mean? Next comment says hi. Yes, that's from Sabrina. Hey Sabrina, thank you for stopping by. And Miss Washington, Woman Washington says, hello, dear daughters and sons. So everybody's saying hello to each other. I don't know how long it's been. Oh, it's been 5 minutes. I can see the, the timer at the top. Let me go ahead and pull the timer up so that I'm not lollygagging. But like I said, I'm going to be reading Across That Bridge by John Lewis, and I'm trying to get through it. Hopefully, all goes well. Fingers crossed. So let me go ahead and start the timer, or bring it up at least. And I actually have a question for you all. So choose a number 1 through 50, I think. I have my phone up here. Yeah. So choose a number 1 through 50. And then because there's only 6 people in here right now, I will take those numbers and that will be our questions of the day for each break so that, we all can have a good time. Do-do-do-do. Number 1 through 50. Okay, so we have 43. Okay, 49. 3. Okay, 3 more numbers. A lot of thought says, I read the Vampire Lestat, but it was around the time my son was born. I think I'll start from the beginning again and read the whole series. I'll be reading Nimona right now. Okay, I've heard of Nimona. That's a graphic novel, correct? I think it is. I think it's also a banned book, if I remember correctly. Okay, we have 8, 10, and there's a sixth person in here. I don't know if they want to say anything or not. Okay, I see. Nashelle Godfrey. Nashelle. Is that Ebony? Hey, Ebony. 13. Okay. So we have 43, 49, 3, 8, 10, and 13. So I am going to ask you this one question, which is number 43. And that is, who is an author that you'd love to meet in person? Let's see. I hope I can. Okay, here it is. I'm going to type the question here so you all can answer it in the comments. So I'm going to say it again. Who is an author that you'd love to meet in person? And that's our Q&A. So I'm going to leave that question up there for you all to answer. Think about it. See viewer questions and choose. Oh, what happened? Thank you for your patience, y'all. I'm trying to figure out this YouTube stream because I've never used it before. So it's a learning experience for all of us, right? Right. Okay, so Kiana said Beverly Jenkins. Okay. And then a lot to thought says maybe John Green. He seems pretty nice. Yes, I've seen him in interviews before, and he seems very nice. Beverly Jenkins, I haven't seen any interviews with her yet, so I would like to. Kiana, have you seen any interviews with Beverly Jenkins? Sorry, y'all. I know that noise is the air conditioner. It's cold. It's getting cold here, so I have the heat on. And Nate Garver says Ashley. So I'm assuming you're talking about Ashley Antoinette, right? She seems nice too. She seems really down to earth. Ashley Antoinette. Me, my answer to this question would be, too many to name. You know what? Today, I want to talk to Nella Larson. Nella Larson is the author of Passing. I just want to pick her brain and ask her, what can explain that ending. If you all have read Passing, let me know if you wanted the same thing, because in passing the ending is very open. It's very open, and it's one of those endings where like it can go anywhere, and you really don't know what the motivation was for what happened in the book. So yes, my answer would be Nella Larson. Okay, so Nate Godfrey says, I'm not gonna call it, well, Trisha instead of Nate Godfrey. So Trisha says, Ashley Antoinette and Michelle Obama. Yes, yes, yes. Would you like to have them in the same room, or like just two separate, meeting, or two separate occasions? Um, Kiana says, I have. Let me find the channel. Okay, okay. Let me know. You can put it down in the chat, the link, and then I'll be able to go and look at it later. Because I've never seen any interviews with Beverly Jenkins before, but I do follow her on Twitter. I think I follow her on Twitter. If not Twitter, I follow her on X, formerly known as Twitter. I follow her on Threads, and I like how she, does a lot of sharing and engagement and stuff. So I'm assuming she's, a delight to be around. Let's see. This is because I'm reading says, I think it would be cool to meet Nnedi Okorafor. The way she sees the future is inspiring. It truly is. I've listened to a couple interviews with her on different podcasts. I would like to meet her, but I feel like if I were to meet her, I have to be sitting next to somebody that is a higher level thinker. Because sometimes she'll start talking about stuff, and I'm like, what? You know that meme where where the person's trying to figure out where are we going? I get kind of lost sometimes when she's speaking, because I noticed that like in the past, depending on what they're talking about, I think I'm assuming this is like one of the words that maybe kind of sets her off into like a whole nother zone. If you say anything about Afrofuturism, I understand that it's like her passion in a way, and she kind of ventures off. So I'm afraid that if I were to sit with her and speak, I'd get lost too. I don't want to get lost. I want to get lost. So that's why I need to make sure I'm with somebody else if I were to sit with Nnedi Okorafor. Let's see. Jacqueline Bublitz. Who is that? I've never heard of Jacqueline Bublitz. Can you name some books that Jacqueline Bublitz has written? Kiana says, the interview I saw made me want to read her books. Oh, okay. Okay. So if you're able to find it, feel free to put it inside of the chat. And then, like I said, I'll go back and look at it, because I'm curious to see, like, how is she when interacting with other people? Because all I know of her is just the books and, of course, Twitter and Threads. Okay. Trisha says she wants to meet Michelle Obama and Ashley Antoinette in two separate occasions, not in the same room. Understandable, because they write two separate genres. This is because I'm reading says yes with the calculations. Yes, that is exactly how I feel when I'm hearing Nnedi talk, because I'm like, girl, like her mind is I could never. I feel like she had maybe the biggest imagination when she was a child. I don't know if you read her story in Out There Screaming, but that's like one of my favorite stories in Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele. Her story scared me. It scared me. Trisha says, since on is Ashley writes fiction. Oh, since Ashley writes fiction and Michelle Obama writes nonfiction, right? So it's like two faces of the same coin, sort of, kind of, because it's two Black females, but they write two different types of things, and then both of their books or both of their works are very popular amongst everyone. Okay, Noah popped in. Noah is, I don't know if you all know this, Noah has a channel as well. It's called In Between the Lines. And Noah is all the way in England. I'm surprised he's still awake, because I'm pretty sure it's like, what, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank you so much for popping in. Hello, hello, hello. Wilma says Tamron Hall. Wilma, like I said, you all, it's Mama Washington. Tamron Hall. I'm surprised. Have you read any Tamron Hall? I know I'm going over the 10 minutes, but you all know I like to talk. Tamron Hall. I haven't read any of her books, but I do have them on my list, because I know she writes like mystery, suspense, and I really do enjoy watching her talk show. But I'm curious, like, what made you want to sit down with Tamron Hall? Have you read any of her books? And then, like, what kind of questions would you want to ask her? I know I ask a lot of questions, but y'all, that's how conversation works, right? Nachelle Garvey says she wrote Before You Knew My Name and Leave the Girls Behind. What? Let me write this down, because before You knew my name. I have never heard this author before, Jacqueline Bublitz. So I'm gonna have to check that out after the stream. Bublitz. And leave the girls behind. Okay, this is because I'm reading. Oh no, not yet. I will read it. Okay, okay. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't spoil anything, but make sure you read her story. I forgot what it's called, but I know that it is inspired by the masqueraders that are in Nigeria. I don't know what time of the year they come around, but I've seen them before, not in person, but online, and it's to me it's scary because it's like a big. Just read it. Just read it. Just read it. I don't want to go too much into it because I may spoil it. And I don't want to overhype it for anybody, but I really enjoyed her story and out there screaming. And then the last comment before I go on ahead and jump into some sprints, like I said, my goal is to do 30 minutes, maybe 45. You know what? Let me ask you all, how many minutes do you all want the sprint to be? That's maybe a safer question because if it were me, I'm just going to do 30 minutes. But I know I'm trying to get something done. So let me know how long do you all want the sprints to be? Do you want to read for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then break for 10 or 5 minutes? Put it in the comments down below and we'll go from there. Okay. Teamwork. And Kiana says, okay, it's called Author Interview on the channel Peace Love Books. Why does that sound very familiar? Okay. Author Interview. Peace Love Books. Okay. XO. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to pull up the timer. Let me all know how many minutes that you want to sprint. If I don't hear anything within the time that I set it up to share the screen, I'm going to go ahead and just do 30 minutes. Okay? Okay. All righty. Oh, and make sure you have your water. We stay hydrated over here. Okay? Okay, dokie. Let's see. Open this up. Let me see if I can share my screen. This whole time I thought I was going to have to like get a separate software or something, but I don't have to. So I'm excited. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I like this. Okay, so I am going to do 30 minutes for our first sprint. I will be starting, like I said before, with John Lewis's Across That Bridge. I am starting at, let me see how much percentage. I'm starting at 7%. So feel free to check in down below. Let us know where you all are starting so that we can see how much progress that we make in all of our books, okay? So I'm going to start it. Where is it? I'm going to start this for now. Let me change. Do I have? Yeah, I think that's good. All right. Happy reading, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Do. How did you all do? I made it to 15% of my book. Like I told y'all earlier, I am reading Across That Bridge by John Lewis. What happened? Let me do a short break. It's a long break. Um, Sorry. I'm trying to make sure that I may have to just use my phone for the timer instead of using a Pomodoro because it's not working the way that I thought it was gonna work. Or do I have to change it like this? Let me see. That's maybe what I need to do, but it's fine. Um, I'm gonna comments. I'm gonna also change the question. If you all are new here, I am trying out YouTube live stream, so I'm not able to, or I do not know how to make it where the comments show up on the screen. So I'll have to test it out next time. So I'm going through and reading each of the comments. The first six people that were in here, they helped me to choose random numbers 1 through 50. So those are going to be the questions that we answered throughout the stream. So the question that you see now is one we answered earlier or asked earlier, and I'm going to put up the next one, which is number 49. And the question is, what's a book that you think deserves more recognition? So in the comments down below, or comments in the live chat, sorry, I want you to go on ahead and let us know what's a book that you think deserves more attention. And I'm going to change the question up here so that you all can see it. What's a book that you think deserves more recognition? And I'm going to go ahead while you all think about it. I'm going to check out the chat and see what everybody's talking about. I think my internet's going kind of slow. Okay, so the last comment I was at is, where is it? Okay, so the last comment was from Kiana. So the next one is it just past? Oh, it is just past 1. Well, I have to come in and support it and say hi. Oh, thank you, Noah. I don't know if Noah's still here. He said it's a little bit past 1. Noah lives in London. He's also a booktuber, and he just came and gave some support. Remember, you guys, I'm using YouTube, so that means you're gonna have to go and look through the comments to understand who I'm talking to right now. Next one says it's from Wilma. She said she's from a little town in Texas. So she said that in reference to Tamron Hall. So the previous question that we asked was like, what is one author that you would like to meet in person? Sorry, getting tongue tied. And Wilma said that she wanted to meet Tamron Hall, and the reason why is because Tamron is from a little small town in Texas. I had no idea. I didn't know she was a Texas girl. So, yeehaw! I'm from Texas too. Bad is Rad too. Says, hi lady, how's it going? I did some rage cleaning, but I'm no longer the exorcist and now it's reading time. I like the sound of that. You got all your cleaning done and now it's time to get those pages done. And everybody's answering a question earlier that I asked about, what we should do as far as sprints. So everybody was agreeing, let's go 30 minutes. So 30 minutes. What is happening with these comments here? Okay. I need this to do what I want it to do. Let's see. So 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Everybody's saying 30 minutes is cool. So that's what we did. We're going to do 30 minutes again after I get through these comments. Noah said, I'm going to go for 30 minutes, but I'm happy to do whatever. Then D came in. Hey, D. D reads for food. Check her out as well. Um, I don't think D has a YouTube channel per se, but she does have a Discord. I'm part of the Discord. Black Lit is lit. I'm gonna put the link in the description bar so you all can go and join. I have a good time there. They do book of the month nominations, and we read together. We have buddy reads. We talk about all kind of stuff, bookish and non-bookish. It's a really good time. I think it's a really close community, close in the sense that like people pop in and pop out. We remember each other's names, pick up conversations, and it's a good time. So go and join the Discord. Like I said, I'm going to put it in the description bar after I finish. Let me make sure I write that down so I don't forget. So, D reads for food. Hope you're still here. Thank you for stopping by. D reads for food. I'll make sure I put the Discord in the description bar. They said I didn't get notification. It's okay. I'm going to be here for 3 hours. I'm jumping in with You Exist Too Much. I think I've seen that book before. So you're already at 29%. So that's good. Hopefully you made a big dent into it. Noteworthy Fiction, Nicole. Hey, Nicole. Another booktuber. Says, hi, Jaleesa. Hoping to get some reading done tonight. Me too, because look here, nonfiction is not my friend. And I'm surprised that I'm getting through this book as quick as I am, considering that I'm also taking notes at the same time. So my goal, since I've read, let's see, 8% in our last sprint, is maybe to get to as close as possible to the 50% mark. If I can do that, I'd be so happy. And I'm going to thank you all so much for helping me get through it. Okay, so D made it to 43%. Wow, that's good. Wait, you started at 39% or was it 29%? Wow, you read fast. Are you reading the audiobook or are you like physically reading it? This is because I'm reading. That's Sabrina. She said made it to page 138. She's reading Memory Work. What is it called? Escaping Exodus by Nikki Drayden. Science fiction. Love to see it. Kiana says she got to chapter 7, which is 9%. That's good as well. A Latte Thought says read just a bit of Nimona and then listed some Cry of the Cat. Cry of the Cat. Why the fuck I've heard of that before as well? Remember, writing y'all's books down at the same time. So make sure that we get everybody kept abreast as to what everybody is reading and what they should read. Cry of the Cat. I feel like I watched one of your videos before, Stephanie, and I think I remember what it's about, but I don't want to be on the internet and lying. So I'll look up the book later. Nicole said no reading yet. Okay, still settling in. Yes. Whoa, the comments are jumping. Slow down, comments. Okay. Oh, hey Nicole. So hey Nicole. Kiana saying hello to Nicole. Noah said I didn't get too far, but it is late, so I'm gonna head to bed. Thank you for letting me chill with you all night. Okay. Bye, Noah. He must like he's gone by now, but bye, Noah. I'll see you in the Discord tomorrow. Latte Dot says Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I love me some Libba Bray. And The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo, I think. Why do I feel like I've seen that name on the book, but I can't really see the book? But I'm very familiar with Libba Bray because one of my favorite books is why is it that as soon as I think about it, I can't remember it? Oh, Lord. Hold on, let me look it up. It's the book with the what you call it? Not magical people, but everybody has different powers, and it's set in the 1920s, if I remember correctly. And there's 4 books in the series. The Diviners, that's what it is. I read The Diviners maybe like 3 or 4 times now. Really enjoyed the book. Really, well, for me, it's a creepy audio book, but I enjoy it. I read one of her books from the Great and Terrible Beauty series. I think that's what the series is called. But I didn't pick up the other book. Her books are very thick, very thick. And the older I get, I'm just like, oh, I can't read too many thick books at the same time. But I do enjoy Libba Bray, and I'm going to look up Kate DiCamillo, because I haven't heard of her before. Let's see, The Vanishing Half. Akiana says The Vanishing Half. I never hear people talking about it. Really? I feel like everybody that I follow is usual. Well, last year, a lot of people were talking about Vanishing Half. I still haven't read it. The only book that I read by Brittany, I think it's Brittany Bennett. Is it Brittany? Hold up. Let me look again. I think it's Brittany Bennett or Brittany Bett. No, Vanishing Half. I typed in The Vanishing. Oh, right. So it is Britt Bennett. Oh, and I call the girl Brittany. Britt. So sorry. Britt Bennett, The Vanishing Half. I haven't read it yet, but I did read The Mothers, and I enjoyed it. I need to reread it. But The Vanishing Half, I feel like it was very popular last year, if I remember correctly. I think it came out last year. But you are right. Like now it's like nobody really talks about it too much anymore. And usually when they do, it's because they are talking about a list of books that talk about maybe passing or like Black History Month, like this month, stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. People don't really talk about it too much. Now, Nicole says, hell of a book. I remember when you were talking about hell of a book. Hell of a book, she says, that deserves all the talk. I need to pick it up. I wanted to pick it up because of the cover. My library, the cover looks like this. I read mostly digital. That's why you all see me reading on my Kindle. Shout out to my sister. She got me this like tripod thing. So is this a tripod? I don't know. It's a tablet holder, and I'm able to use my Kindle without having to hold it up or hold it down. What was I looking for? One Hell of a Book. You all go and search for One Hell of a Book and look at the cover. I think the cover is sick in a good way. I really enjoy like the basicness of it. Hold on, let me see. One Hell of a Book. Or not One Hell of a Book, sorry, Hell of a Book. Hell of a Book. I had it on here. Why? I remember mine at my library was yellow. See them. So mine at my library, it looks like this. Let me show you. Uh-oh. Can you all see that? See, it's yellow and black. That's how it looked at my library. This is the cover that I want if I ever were to purchase it and I really enjoy the book. But I think the one that Nicole had was the one that was like kind of red. I'll just zoom in on my phone. Looks like that. So both covers are really nice. But yeah, I don't really hear anybody really talk about it too much. And I feel like if it were to be something that's like not necessarily big, but like most talked about, it's mostly in the literary circles of BookTube. And then Nicole says, true, Kiana. And then she said, I've heard good things about Edward Tulane. As she was responding to Latte Thoughts, which is Stephanie. Stephanie is also BookTuber, so check her out. Remember, I'm going to put all the channels for the BookTubers in the description bar down below. I got y'all, okay? D says, hey, thanks for the shout out. You know, I got you. Hopefully there's some new faces that'll, pop up in the Discord after this live. D says, yeah, it's audio. I'd have been a bit slower if it was a physical. She said it would have been slower if it was a physical. Yeah. I noticed that too. That's why when I feel really bad, I had not necessarily volunteered, but somebody asked me, hey, Jaleesa, do you want to do a buddy read? And I didn't intend on doing a buddy read for their vicious games. That's why I'm reading it. And the person who I was doing it with, they finished the book in like 2 days. I was like, you left me. What happened to the plan? We were supposed to take like 7 days to read 5 chapters a day. But the reason why they were able to get through it so quickly is because they were reading the audiobook and I'm over here reading the ebook. So yeah, things happen. But I do prefer audiobook if I know for sure that the audio, like the narrator, is something I can vibe with. If I can't, I'll just read with my eyes. I'll be okay. Nicole says it's a beautiful but sad. I'm sorry, not Nicole. Latte Thoughts is responding to Nicole, and she said it's a beautiful but sad story. I need to check it out because I like a good cry. If you all haven't seen my last video, I was in my feelings, but in a good way. I finished reading, what was it? Delicious Monsters by LaSalle Sandberry, the same person that wrote the, what is it called? Something about magic. Blood. I'm getting old. Forgive me. What is that book called? Blood Like Magic? I think so. It's a series, Blood Like Magic. Let me look it up. Blood Like Magic. This is how I am when I'm watching you all's videos that are booktubers. If you say a certain video book and I don't see the cover or whatever, I'm over here looking. When I show you, I'm like, oh, I remember that book. Okay, so this is what the cover looks like for Blood Like Magic. So LaSalle Sandberry wrote this book, and then the book that I read was The Delicious Monsters by them, and I was boohoo crying after like maybe close to like between like the 69 and 80% mark, somewhere around there. That's when I understood why we had so much build up for the story. Let's see. These are, oh, I already read that. I can say for sure right now, I most likely will not use YouTube live stream again because I don't like how I can't control the comments. Courtney tried to tell me, Courtney from Tangible Reads, she even told me, she was like, you can't control the comments. And what did I do? I'm trying it anyway, but it's okay. You live and you learn. Alati Thought says it's a Goosebumps 2000 book. Oh, okay. She said, I just started The Diviners. You're going to enjoy The Diviners, okay? If you can, try to do a hybrid read, listen to the audiobook and read at the same time. It's atmospheric. I even suggest, and I usually don't tell people to do this, but if you don't mind reading in the dark, like just to get like the creepy feelings and stuff, do that. Read in the dark. I remember when I was reading it, I was living at my mother's house before I got married. And I think I was maybe like, how old was I? I don't remember. I know it was like 2015, 2006. No, maybe 2014, 2015. Doesn't matter. I remember I was laying in my bed in the dark. And then as soon as I got to the creepy part, I swear to you, I felt like something was like touching my leg. So I jumped up and turned the lights on because I couldn't take it. But I like that kind of feeling. Like I'm a horror girly year round. I love horror. So if you want to amp it up a little bit, listen to the audiobook in the dark. Okay. Let's see. D Reads for Food says, love The Diviners too. Never managed to finish the series because I am terrible at completing series. You and I see you. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. That's why you never really see me pick up series because I have commitment issues. And not only that, most of the time these series take so long to complete. Once you think it's going to be just 3 books, it turns into 5, and then 5 turns into 7, and then that's when Jaleesa got to check out because it's just too much going on. But if the series is complete, then I try to read all of the books. But that's why I just wait. I don't mind waiting, and I'm not much of a rereader. So when I see other people like saying, "Oh, I'm going to reread this," I'm not going to reread 700 some pages. I'm talking about Sarah J. Maas in this example. I've read some of her books. They're really big, and I'm not going to be rereading them. I will read or skim some kind of cliff notes or something or a wiki page before I ever pick up a book that big and reread it. So yeah, I'm there with you with series. Series are hard for me to manage. Just give me a standalone so I can get in, get out, and keep it pushing. He says, that's why I don't do buddy reads anymore. Either I fly through it or I'm way behind. I would say the same, but I enjoy doing buddy reads even if the person does go ahead of me. That's fine. And I don't mind spoilers. It's not a big deal for me. But it's just like I feel like I let the person down if I don't complete it, around the same time as them. But luckily this person here, they're like, girl, it's okay. It's fine. Like, I'll wait. I'm like, okay, thank you for waiting so we can discuss it together. Kiana said, I'm 50% done with my first diamond painting. Oh, wait, is it the same diamond painting you were working on during one of Nicole's sprints? I think. I'm trying to remember. I think it's a picture of a lady. I don't think it's a picture of a flower or anything like that. D says that part, and by the time the final one comes out, I don't even remember what happened in book 1. Exactly. I don't remember either. I'm like, who is that and where they come from, what they do? I don't remember. So I cannot. So I'm one of those people who's gonna wait until the entire series is done, especially specifically for Sarah J. Maas. Like, I understand everybody don't like her. I don't have anything against her, but at the same time, I don't read too much into an author's actions. Not actions, but like if their actions are kind of like covert, I don't really be paying attention. I know there's a lot of people that really be looking into the book and they try to connect with other things, and that's their business. And it's most likely there. I'm not saying that they are negating that whatever they're saying is not true. It's just that I'm just in the book to read. I'm just reading. Like, I'm not trying to look any further than that. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till Miss Sarah J. Maas get all her stuff together, and I'll come back. But right now, I'm enjoying some really good standalone books. Until then, I think that's the only series that I'm really sticking to. There's maybe some other ones that I just can't think of it right now, but that's the biggest one. Like, the only time I'm really good with series is if it's a graphic novel series. Those A1 I can handle. Anything with a whole bunch of words, no, no, no. D says Cassie Clare is a big culprit of that too. Child, I forgot Cassie a long time ago. I tried to pick up the first book in the, I don't know what the series is called. It's been going on forever, and I just couldn't get into it. I think I maybe read 16%, and I was like, I think I'm a little bit too old for this book, so I dipped out. I couldn't handle it. Woman says, I devote lots of time in Bible studies. Yes, yes. And I think, you know what, maybe I was thinking about that. I meant to tell you all about my book. So remember, I'm reading Across That Bridge by John Lewis, because I'm thinking about how Wilma is mentioning the Bible, and I can tell that the Bible, as well as his religion and belief system and his philosophies, affect a lot of his decisions and how he feels about how the world should run and stuff. I mean, of course, that's most people, but it's very prevalent in his book. I can see how this book here, even though we know that it's like, it's not an autobiography, but I can tell that if somebody were to read it and they're not really familiar with the way that some of us talk when we're in the Black church, specifically Black American church, it could be a little bit confusing. But I encourage people to try to read books that not necessarily make them uncomfortable, but make them uncomfortable in the sense of having to learn something new. So just because he's speaking or talking in a way that you don't understand doesn't mean that you can't go and what? Google. Okay. So, but I am enjoying it. Just to let you all know. But yes, woman, Bible studies. I'm devoting time not to Bible studies, but to my language studies. My sister, my younger sister, she's in the comments. She'll let you all know. Like, I've been up in my Spanish. I've been trying to at least get an hour to 2 hours a day. I listen to a lot, immersion. My thought process is now becoming Spanish. So I can't believe I'm taking it more serious than I did in high school and in college. So it feels good to actually understand something and something other than English. I encourage you all to do the same. Um, okay, so Kiana said it's a black lady with flowers in here. I thought so because I remember somebody mentioning or asking you how far you were on in your diamond painting. And then this is the last comment, and then we're going to go into the next 30-minute sprint. Okay, y'all? So I hope you all are having a good time, getting some things done. And thank you again for hanging out with me. And if you just got here and haven't done it yet, do what? Thumbs up. I'm trying to get in the habit of saying that. It feels weird because I'm really just right. I'm here having a good time with good people that want to help me get through my reading and then also accomplish their reading as well. So asking for a thumbs up, it just feels odd, but I'm trying to get in the habit. So bear with me. And woman said, daughter challenged me to read outside. Oh, daughter challenged me to read outside the box. Looking forward to change. So daughter, who she's talking about is me. Woman Washington, that's my mother. And so ever since I started this is like a little bit of backstory before we get to the 30-minute sprint. I started my blog back in, I think, October 2022, if I remember correctly. And then I started my Buddy Reads group, and my mother joined, and then that's how we've gotten into the habit of reading outside of our comfort zones, because that's basically what I'm trying to promote when it comes to my Buddy Reads group. I understand that, you have some groups or book clubs that are genre specific, and that's all good and well because I'm part of several, most of them being horror related because I'm a horror girly, 24/7, 365. But I do make a point to make sure that I am reading diversely in the sense of reading from different voices that are different from mine. So that means that out in different countries, reading translated works, reading from different ethnicities, races, cultures. I'm pretty sure it's everything. Like I'm trying not to read what everybody else is reading. So if you have taken a look at my channel, you'll see that I pretty much kind of avoid reading what the masses are reading because everybody else is already reading it. But if you all have any like suggestions for any books that you think that I should try to put in my little, what is the word I'm looking for? My orb, my orb of diverse reads, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always up for a good book suggestion. I don't read fast, but that doesn't mean I won't try to read the book that you suggest. So yes, anything that's different, anything that's not TikTok related, anything that's not trending, put it inside of the chat, and leave it for me because I do look forward to trying different books. So I say all that to say, now we need to go on ahead and go to the next 30-minute sprint. I hope you all are ready. Remember where you stopped at? I stopped at 15%. So let's hope that I can get through another 8%. So fingers crossed, next time we check in, I'll be at 23% of my book, Across That Bridge by John Lewis. All right, let me get started. I'm going to mute myself. If you haven't yet, go on ahead and answer the question that's above. What's a book that you think that deserves more recognition? And I'll change it when we come back after a 30-minute sprint. Okay? All right. And what do I always say? Stay hydrated. Make sure you have your water. I have a gallon over here too, but I don't want to be obnoxious. So I'm going to put it away. But yes, make sure you stay hydrated. Put myself on mute. I'll see you all in 30 minutes. Well, who is this person? People. Our faith was that no force of humankind, no matter how brutal, could overcome the power of the divine. We believe that if we stood together as one people, guided by our faith, determined to demonstrate the falsity of notions coursing through the society around us, then we will have heavenly protection against any evil that will befall us. We did not know how this hope would come, but we knew it would come because the battle we were fighting had already been won. Already been established. All we needed to do was crash the solutions and injustice. Surely the support came from many of us from other heritages. So we're running no political force, no military force in American. Such the most basic of human gifts to think with any clarity and or create to understand the world around us. We need to stand to defend ourselves. No safety net, no one to turn to. We were born to know. We started out our lives dangling by a tenuous thread. So many of us came to work and change our uniquely experience and the transformative power of motivate, praise the dire surface, things of poverty, success, and the sheer carbon ideas, literacy, lower education, imagine terrorism of the night riders, and my loss, my appearance of those. So just then I was made to try the enemy. This is so much a part of our everyday lives. We don't name firehose we knew without any doubt that somebody was greater than us all. So I don't know way and protect the defender of the truth. The role of the church cannot be understood here. You can expect the church to mean the community of believers. It has been a well documented the church was a wellspring of common faith for most of us. Hmm. Who believe they were called to work as civil rights as an expression of their faith. Religious faith is a powerful connecting force for any group of being force to change the common. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. The common principles and structure. So I wonder, like, is this impactful? The common principles and structure are policing people across racial, ethnic, regional, and economic diversities who are hoping to achieve this growing call for change. Universal principles that all great religions share: power, compassion, unity to practice one's faith, connect us beyond the blind perspectives. As we know, I was back on country, more praise, God rules backwards. Deeply religious, shared purpose, studying national, units to win. Hills, Preston Baptist Church. Wood, Diane Nash, people. Bernard Lafayette, people. We were owned by the Reverend Kelly Smither, Kevin Miller Smith, people. Bob Zoner, what? Woo! Commonality infused the early days of the national, particularly later within the student coordinating community. So, student non-SNCC organization. Transform power of non. Love, human, the laws of oppression, actually, sure. Oh, that's heavy. You should have a test. You discover that what you fear actually had no power over you. Consider how you feel if your life required you to face what fear the most every day. Child, I'd be stressed out. It's really good story. Let me see. Here's the message. Questions. Hmm. Oh my god. I've been saying these. Uh-huh. Okay. Ooh. that word? Martyrdom. 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 Yeah, it's a little scary. But okay, so I made it to patience. Without patience, we will learn less in life. We will see less. We will feel less. We will hear less. Ironically, rush and more usually means less. Okay. The value restrict and the right service and program certainly ease the economy that wasn't again. Conceits. Hey, hey. How did you all do? I made it to the 22% mark of my book. So I was pretty close to the 23%. That was my goal for this sprint. Let me know in the comments down below how you did. How far did you make it into your books? If you are reading, if you're not reading, what did you do during those sprints? While you all are leaving comments down below, I am going to go ahead and take down the timer, just hide it for now. And I'm going to add a new question that we picked from before. So let me turn off this timer here. Thank you all that are here. I got 7 people still here. Hey, look at that. Let's see. Because I know there's so many live streams going on right now, so I do appreciate y'all being here. What am I looking for? Oh, trying to stop that part. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the new question, and the new question is, doing number. What number was that? Hardcover or paperback? Like that's a question as old as time, right? Hardcover or paperback? Which do you prefer and why? So don't just say paperback. Why do you like paperback? Hardcover. Why do you like hardcover? So I'm going to go ahead and change that question. I have kept. New question here. Hardback or paperback? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer and why? Again, that's the heat. It is cold here. Cold for me. I know there's some places where it's snowing, so I apologize if that feels like a slap in your face. But I don't like cold. I don't like cold. Um, Let me unpin this here and then go back to where the live chat. Okay, so I'm going to answer the question. I already told you all where I was in my book. I'm going to answer the question and then tell you all why I was making, like, maybe you maybe saw my face changing as I was reading, because there are some things that I'm realizing as I'm reading this book. I'm actually enjoying it. If you don't know, I'm reading Across That Bridge by John Lewis. It's for my buddy reads or reading beyond the book cover. I don't want to call it a book club because it's not really a book club, but book club. And it has me feeling some type of way. And I'll talk about that most likely at like our last talk. I maybe shouldn't do it now. So I'll wait until our last like break. And anybody wants to stick around and hear my little thoughts that I do have after reading as much as I do read during these sprints. Thank you. Like I'll do it then. So I won't do it now. Anyhow, get off track. So I used to be a not paperback, a hardcover person. I don't know what happened. Maybe when I want to say like age wise, I feel like once I turned 28 or 30, because I'm 35 now. I think that's when I was like, no, I don't like hardcover anymore. And it's not that I don't like it. I have a preference. Like I have a hardcover here so you can see. Oh, I like floppy paperback. Okay, like when I say floppy, I'm talking about like House of Leaves, any of those Diana Gabaldon books, like the big ones. I like the book to flop. Like, see, the hardcover doesn't flop. I can't flop with this. I would show you my other books, but they're all packed up. So, but I don't like you see what it's doing? And I can't lay it down without it closing itself. But when you get that paperback, the one that opens and you can do this with it and it flops and you can just put it on the table and it stays, see, that one just closed. It stays open to where you want it to be. That's the kind of paperback that I want. So that is why I now prefer paperback. That timer just says I've been talking for 5 minutes. It's fine. We're going to be okay. But yes, I prefer paperback now. But because I have my books packed up and I do use my library pretty much exclusively, I always will gloat about only buying one book last year. This year, I don't know. I feel like I may not buy any books at all, but you never know. It depends. If I feel like I need to buy a physical copy for something, then I will, but I doubt it. I use my library because I have a really good library. Shout out to my library. But yes, paperback. So I'm going to go in the comments. Hopefully, I can get through them in 10 minutes. If I don't, it's no worries. If the timer goes off, it's fine. What we'll do is we'll, instead of reading just 30 minutes, we'll read for however long the next timer is. Okay? Agree? Agree. So let's see. Kiana, I asked about some book suggestions because I like to read diversely. That's my buzzword when it comes to how my channel is. I like reading different books and a lot of books that people don't really talk about much. And the book suggestion was The Namesake by Jumpa Lahiri. And Sabrina, who is This Is Because I'm Reading, also agreed. Now, Sabrina, if you're still here, I have a question. What is Gogo? Is it Google? Is that what you mean? I don't know. So I'm gonna Google it, but you typed Google, so I wasn't sure. I'm just wondering. Just clarify in the comments and let me know. But I'm gonna add that book to hopefully my library has it. Let's do it in real time. This is what I usually do when I'm watching people's videos. I am looking to see if my library has the book. So you said Jumpa Lahiri. Am I spelling it right? Jumpa. Okay, here it is. Um, my library. I don't think. What was it? The Namesake. Where is it? Out of all, it's 22 titles. Oh, I see it here. So I have to put it on hold. I'm going to do that now. There's a 3 week wait at one of my libraries and a 14-week wait at the other one. So you know which one I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 3 week wait. So I'm going to go ahead and put a hold so I don't forget that that's a book that I want to try out. Thank you so much, both of you, for suggesting this book. Okay. Next comment. I said thank you, of course. D said they made it to 60%, but I don't think I can read anymore tonight. Why is tomorrow already Monday? I know, right? It's like the week just it leaves us behind. But there's always next weekend, right? But if you're, I don't know if you're still here, but if you're not, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, I get it. That was me the other night. I had a book club meeting for lone women, and then I think I read so much that by the time I got to part 2, I was burnt out, and I can tell that my mood was changing, and I maybe would have misjudged the book, so that's why I stopped and put the book down. I was like, it was fast paced and also it was slow paced. I was like, no, Jaleesa, you were just tired. But I'm there with you. Like it's Monday already tomorrow. Luckily, I work from home on Monday, so that's a good thing. But still, it's like I gotta work, so I gotta like use my mind for other things other than reading or think about what to eat next because I like food. Speaking of food, if you all just leave on the TV or the phone or whatever, go ahead, use the restroom, drink some water. You saw I was stretching a little bit, just to move around. I most likely will use the restroom during the next sprint. Like, take care of yourselves. You don't have to sit down the whole time. Let's see. This is because I'm reading. So that Sabrina said I'm on page 161 now. And the sister Ken has been doing some shady political machinations. Yes, yes, yes. I need to reread this book. The book she's talking about is Escaping Exodus, and it has so many different things going on in the book. Just to like build the kind of premise of the book, just to see if you're maybe interested in it. It's a sci-fi book, and it's following. If I remember correctly, I think it's like 2 characters, but the one that you're in the head of mostly. Correct me, because I feel like I don't think it's 2 people. Anyhow, they inhabit a beast or a creature, like a space creature. So instead of them living on a actual planet like we do, they're living inside of a living organism or living thing. So they have a symbiotic relationship. One depends on the other. And the world is just very interesting how it works. There's like a living form. So for example, let's say we are the spaceship. If somebody's living inside of us, eventually we are going to pass on, right? So that means that the people living inside of us will have to find another host. And that's basically the premise of the book. And then on top of that, it's like a matriarch. And it's a good time. So I think that's a good book for you all to check out. It's a really good book club book as well. If you want to like push your limits, you want to try something a little bit further out. Because I know nowadays most people try to read whatever is, I don't know, hyped up by Reese Witherspoon and who else? Who's the Bush girl? I don't know. I don't know her name, but I see that sticker on the book and I know. So, try something different. Try Nikki Drayden's Escaping Exodus. Yes. And you all, if I don't remember your book, don't take it personal. I have it written down. I'm going to make sure that I put it in the description bar, and I'm also going to add it to my list of books as well. So keep shouting out books in the comments down below, because that's what we're here for, to get some reading done and also to suggest some other reading to other people. Don't keep it to yourself. Share. Okay, Kiana got the 14%. It's good. Yes, I knew you said machinations, but I wanted to be fancy, so I still said Mac and machinations. D says she likes to look at hardcover, but to read, she likes to read paperback. I get you. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't mind looking at the cover, but once I get the book in my hand, it has to be paperback. If not paperback, digital. Christina said paperback for sure, easier to read and carry. Yes. What happened? The comments are jumping again. I'm so sorry, y'all. Where'd it go? Okay, Kiana says I have more paperbacks. Me too, Kiana. Like after, I don't know what happened. It's like after maybe 20, I can remember, maybe around the pandemic, I was just buying a whole bunch of paperbacks. And it wasn't just like US paperbacks. I was buying UK paperbacks because for me, I feel like they look a little bit better. But you didn't hear from me. But I was buying a lot of UK paperbacks, and that's when Book Depository existed. Book Depository, that's the OG store. Not actually OG, because I think they closed like maybe at the tail end of last year, but still, that used to be my jam. Book Depository. But they no longer exist. But yeah, Kiana, I'm the same way. I have more paperbacks now. Alicia, hello, Alicia. That's one of my other sisters. I have two sisters, so that's my other sister. She says, I prefer paperback. I think bending to flip the pages is efficient. Yes. It's been a while. I don't think I can. That should be another question. I don't think I can crack the spine per se, but I will, lightly press the pages out. But I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like if I crack the spine, there's more of a chance for pages to just fall out, and that's not my goal. But I get you, sis. Yes, you want to bend the book back. I can't bend this book back. That's why this hardcover is not efficient. It looked good, but it's not efficient. Courtney, hey Courtney at Tangible Reads, another booktuber, says hi everyone. I definitely prefer hardcover. Okay, you like hard. I noticed. Yeah, most of your library books are hardcover. I only think I have one library book, and you all saw it. It was a mass market, Little Women over there. I put her in timeout because the font is a little bit too small. So I'm gonna have to just do e-read for that one because the font is just too small. I already have glasses. Okay. So Sabrina said Gogol is the character's name in the namesake. Oh, okay. I'm over here talking about, you want me to look up Google? So that's what I did. Nice to know. Gogol. Okay. What a name, Gogol. I like the way it rings off my tongue. Gogol. Oh, that sounds kind of sad though if you think about it. Like that sounds like a name that somebody gives someone that's unwanted. I hope that's not the case because I'm going to be sad reading that book. Nicole said, I had muted and missed you coming back. That's what I get for muting. It's okay, Nicole. I'm still here. It happens sometimes, don't it? Let's see. Sabrina said also an author. Okay. So Kiana says Google is the name of the character. Okay, thank you so much for correcting me because I thought it was Google. I'm so sorry. Nicole said, "Oh, he's named after Nikolai Gogol, classic Russian author." Oh, okay. So it's not sad. Oh, okay. Well, shut me up. Okay, it's more the more you know. So it sounds like one of those stories. Well, actually, I don't want to say sound like. I'm gonna ask you on the comments to whoever read that book, The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. Do they explain where the name comes from, Gogol, or is it something like if I didn't know based on what Nicole told me, I would be kind of like lost in the sauce and not understanding? Like, just let me know real quick. Um, Will Washington said, I prefer hardback books because you don't have to be as careful in handling them. Okay, I understand. Mama, I'm gonna call you out. Mama, Mama, Mama can be heavy-handed with things, so I can understand why she needs a hardcover. Because if she had a paperback, that may not be a front cover by the time she's done with it. I don't carry my books around with me because, like I said, I usually do a lot of digital, so I'll have it on my phone. If not, then I'll have it on my one of my Kindles. I have this Kindle and I have the other one that's like black and white. Black and white. I named this one Kindle Fire, and I have another one that I call Kindle Outside. So you get what I'm saying? And I also have a Nook. So I do a lot of digital. But if I do hardcover, I usually just do it at the house because I feel like if I put it inside of my bag, something's bound to happen. Hardcover or paperback. Like I just can't trust my bag to do anything. Um Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Not catch up, I'm trying to understand where I left off at. Oh no, the comment dropped again. Oh, not dropped, it jumped. Okay. Kiana said yes, Nicole. Okay, so she's agreeing with Nicole about how the person in the namesake is named after a Russian author. Oh, okay. Because I was like, an author? Like, I thought at first when you mentioned it was an author, I thought you were saying that Gogol in the book is an author, but that person's namesake is an author, the Russian author. So I'm following you. Courtney said I read that book too. Oh, I read that too. Two-book series by Nikki Drayton. It was so good. Okay, so you read both of them. See, I need to read the second one. Right now, Sabrina, their name is This Is Because I'm Reading. She's reading the first book, which is the Escaping Exodus. So I need to read. Is it called Symbiosis? I think that's what it's called. I need to pick that up. The covers are really pretty too, y'all. Like, if just take a chance, go and look. Try a couple pages. You may like it. You never know. Nicole was saying hello to Courtney. Sabrina said, I'm loving it so much. I just found the second book on Pango, so I'm going to probably read the second one right after. That's good. Read the other book while you can remember. You don't want to be like me where I have to go back and reread the first book just to remember, for the second book. So I need to pick it back up. I don't read enough, science fiction. Bad on me. Jenna Bush. Yes, that is the name. What did I call her? I don't know. But yeah, Jenna Bush, Oprah. Child, they suggest a lot of good books I trusted, but at the same time, I'm not trying to read what everybody is reading. I think the only time I really pick up anything that everybody is sort of reading together is the big library read. If you all have a Libby account with your library and you haven't done it before, try to see if you can participate anytime they have a big library read. I feel like they really pick some not A1 books, but like books that are very easy to snack on. I don't know how to explain it. Anytime I pick up a book that they suggest, I end up enjoying it. I'm always surprised. And it's always a book that I never heard of before. So it's called the Big Library Read. Libby runs it. They usually sometimes do it like consistently, but it seems like they do it on a quarterly basis where they check out books. So yes, Big Library Read. Try it out. But yeah, you're right. Jenna Bush, Oprah, Reese Witherspoon. I don't know if you all saw the movie Madam Web. Me and my sister went and saw it yesterday. And what's her name? Dakota Johnson. I think she's coming out with a book club. If not a book club, it's like a book box or something. Go to her Instagram page and she has some kind of advertisement on there. So it looks like she's doing something that's bookish as well. I like seeing celebrities doing bookish stuff, but I'm like, if it costs I'm gonna have to just watch from the sidelines. But I trust that whatever decisions that they make, they're gonna be A1. But yeah, I'm aiming for reading outside of what Jenna, Oprah, Reese, and maybe now Dakota are doing. Um, Nicole said paperback. Oh no, I skipped. Sorry, Courtney. Courtney said hello to Nicole, and then Nicole said paperback. I only buy hardcovers of books that I've read and want to be able to reread. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I usually will buy paperback and hardback if it's a book that I want multiple copies of. Like because I want to have one book for display and the other one for annotating, and there's very few books that that I have that are like that, but that's what I usually do. Kiana said you do learn why Gogol is his name or namesake. Oh, and then she said sorry, but it has sad parts. Kiana, you gonna have me crying in the club? I don't want to be crying in the club. Oh my god. Nicole said that makes a lot of sense based on the little I know of Gogol. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe I should look up the author either. Is there something sad about the author too, Nicole? Oh, okay. Just let me know if I need tissue. That's all. Oh my god. Oh, and then Kiana said the namesake also has a film adaptation. Okay. I'm going to have to not make a thing out of it, but I'm going to have to make sure that when I do read the namesake, that's the only book I'm reading. Because you know me, I'm a mood reader and I tend to do too much when I'm reading. But thank you for letting me know. And she said, I buy Kiana. She said, I buy paperback or hardcover based on whichever is cheaper. Okay. That makes sense too. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know. It's like I'll look at the Amazon prices and I'm always wondering like why is the Kindle, which is the digital version, sometimes more expensive than paperback or hardcover. Like I could understand hardcover being more expensive, but paperback and Kindle make it make sense. I don't know. Um, it's weird. But like I said, I'm gonna cut myself off here because if you want to hear my thoughts about what I'm reading, I'll just save it for the end of the sprint. So what we're gonna do now is jump back into another 30%. I'll be starting at 22% of my book, which is Cross That Bridge by John Lewis, the late John Lewis. I read a book by him before, which was a graphic novel called March, but this is my first, I guess you can call it, it's a nonfiction, but I don't want to call it a biography, autobiography, because it doesn't feel like it. It's more of like him talking about his experiences being a civil rights movement leader slash what is the word I'm looking for? Social justice fighter, like all the above. So I'm gonna cut myself off because you know I like to talk. So 30 minutes. We're gonna put on the timer again. I'm gonna share my screen, mute myself. Okay. What? Impedant. I don't know what that means. Tourist and person to fill out a 4 page. The little button white says cancel. Mm-mm. Little typo. What? Shame. 15. 3 out of 15,000. 2 years, my guy. First organization is wait. Our desire was not to register at any cost. Its price was sacrificing our dignity of respect. We understand we were in a business of destruction. We want to build and tear down. To love, not plant the seeds of hate. We never raised our fists. All we did was wait. But that waiting acted like a brand rod that broke down the doors of resistance. Mm. Mm. After years of waiting, we exposed the injustice of our position. The voting rights struggle in Alabama was legal scholars called the most effective piece of legislation the U.S. Congress had passed in over 50 years. The Voting Rights Act of 1965. Previously, so this is a document. President Lyndon Johnson had advised it would be impossible to pass another bill that he was passed the Rights Act before. So this is another document which made discrimination in public accommodations illegal, but because of the people of Alabama and the thousands supported them, because of the people who demonstrated beyond the shadow of doubt, pressing need for justice, Justice was able to send a voting rights bill to the House, introduced the bill that these unforgettable words, which are often our speeches today. At times, history and fate meet at a single time in a single place to shape a turning point in man's unending search for freedom. So it was at Lexington and Concord. So it was a century ago at Appomattox. Appomattox. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama. People of Selma wrote that acting with their marching feet. It was their determination to wait without ceasing that dramatically altered American history. The Voting Rights Act allowed literacy testing and grandfather clauses, but it also provided for periodic reauthorization to curtail president efforts to limit free and fair access to the ballot box. It allowed unfair gerrymandering and voting changes, but that still happens. Who are members of all kinds of minorities, from Latinos to the Vietnamese to Eskimos and Americans who participated Engineering that the Voter Rights Act is under attack. Right. A series of court cases has been mounted. A series of court cases has been mounted in several states and go toward the Supreme Court with the hope that the most powerful section of the Act, Section 5, will be nullified. There are still groups working to suppress the vote through the requirement of government-issued photo IDs to manipulate the office of the Secretary of State. And we can it is aggravating because the vote is the most powerful tool to make change and practices. I do one vote will not make a whole change. Necessary change requires patient, persistent action. Most of this patience is almost too simple in order for effective command or control that brings immediate results. A fast food mentality expects instant turn sometimes attention effort return that concrete and clear. We are so comfortable charging forward, succeeding with our aggression and innovation that the idea of patience can seem contrary to our instincts. Yet I assure you, as I have seen through my very eyes, even a little patience can pay big dividends. Today, as a U.S. Congressman, I can offer a few insights on how you may encourage your to take action. Certainly, creative, non-process, timed to impact legislative actions like important votes or hearings are strategic options. Persistent demonstrations prove there's a demand among the people for change, but a one-day protest or perfunctory march is the kind of recycling protest needed to clearly define a mobilized constituency. Persistent, dedicated, determined action does. It provides unequivocal leverage for members of Congress who are inclined to vote with you, and it educates and informs members who are on the fence, offering room within the legislative process for persuasive negotiations that lead to more favorable on particular issues. Education may also be one of the most important tools that are organized, determined people need to institute change. People need to be informed about the legislative process and the structure of our government. Ours is a diffuse, complex political system. Its benefit is not that is that no one official or agency has a unilateral authority to dictate to the people. So no one entity can enforce its will without experiencing some kind of check from the other branches. For example, the U.S. House of Representatives can pass legislation that will never get through the Senate. The Senate is a check on the House. Go ahead. The U.S. House of Representatives pass legislation that will never get through the Senate. Okay, so you have the Senate, you have the House of Representatives. The Senate is a check on the House and vice versa. If legislation does pass both bodies, it still must be signed by the president because the veto power before it can become law. If an unjust law is still able to pass through this government, then lawsuits can be filed in court, which can negate the power of the legislation or rule it entirely to solution. This series of gates and labels was a wise complication of our fathers who themselves have been victimized by tyranny. So viewed another way, it could be perceived as a log jam, making people frustrated with government today. It's not a demonstration that Washington is broken, as so many pundits like to say, but that it's just checks and balances working on a log jam. There would be forces ramming through legislation that would change the relationship between the people and its government from years to come. Okay, that is the benefit of checks and balances systems to be sure. However, it is complex. Yet the complexity of the system is both beneficial and burdensome. It's good because it presents a shield against injustice. It's difficult because it can be complex and navigate, but it is that very complexity that has made our government so durable. Having the patience to learn to navigate its intricacies, we serve you well in the long run. We have to recognize that there's no one-stop shop in our system. So seeing desired results requires relation, persistence, and patience. Okay. I've been amazed at so many I've been amazed at so many people are clueless on what they wish from to do. Because it's boring. My job to represent the views, problems, and successes of people of fifth congressional district of Georgia, which mainly includes the city of Atlanta throughout the decision-making process. Federal legislators so they understand once in my district. I meet with because I need and I want federal legislation to protect and concerns are determined problems with my district or with the national trend for brief and build that all jurisdictions. Well, if I determine the problem with my district reflect the national trend, or we're going to create a bill that helps all jurisdictions face the same problem. For example, if I know veterans are overrepresented in homeless population in my district and this problem persists nationwide, I work with members of Congress who sit on pertinent committees such as the Veterans Treats homeless veterans and legal issues in the city. Solving the problem is necessary with the vast problem. However, there's no quick fix. The federal government cannot plus implement all the solutions itself because it does not have sole jurisdiction over all the areas of public life that the problem affects. It may require partnership between the government, private, and nonprofit organizations, churches, health services, community groups, citizen. Why all these people? Job place organizations, housing programs, bank, and training. So, for instance, the city may offer funding to nonprofits to develop food program explanations for local restaurants and grocery stores to help resolve hunger that's part homelessness. While public health agencies may help the city with treatment and medications. The state may create a fund for combating homelessness in its major cities and request its U.S. representatives or senators to secure federal money to support the programs. Might also list the aid of congressional representatives in applying for grants from federal agencies. All of these solutions are subject to politics of the time. If the federal budget is in a deficit as it is now, homeless matters see budget cycles, state and should start over and try to get funding in the next budget. Meanwhile, what this is the see homeless people on the street as they have before, and they may assume that their elected representatives do not care, and nothing has been done. As you can see, many factors impact the legislation process. If effective tactics are employed at strategic moments, is up for debate, they can both underline people's will no matter which go a long way toward convincing elected to act. What the hell? The passage of a bill can be circuitous, especially if it is controversial, has an adverse effect on large American constituency. Trying to large American constituency. Trying to pass the kind of bill I suggested above in the legislative environment where Congress study services science will be almost impossible with that. But that does not mean the idea is not worried about how they're going to pass. Be persistent and consistent in your activism and support the patient. Continue to advocate for what you believe in. It's right that many compelling people will change their thinking and say, looking for the China, your work will be at the forefront of their minds. Informative activism requires requires reading the newspaper, tracking bills, reading library. Oh, oh my God. Oh, these people, because they keep you apprised of legislative action and let you persuade them to come to your side. They're the ones who draft the legislation that goes to you. Okay. I feel convicted. That's a lot of studying. Even as a member of Congress, ideas that I believe in is even decades besides the law. One highlights of my congressional group organization mandates bill national reserve. Hello, dearies. Hi, how are you doing? I made it to 28% of my book, Across That Bridge by John Lewis. Y'all, I have thoughts. So that was our last sprint. In case you didn't see it in my little Q&A at the top, the new question is, what is your favorite genre and why? Or your favorite genre to read and why? So put that down in the comments or the chat. What is your favorite genre to read and why? And then also let me know how far you made it into your book. Like I said, I made it 28%. That was the last sprint. So I read from 7% to 28%. I got 21% done. That's a win for me. So I read maybe about 7% every sprint. We did 3 sprints, 30-minute sprints. And I feel good. I am into the book now. It's a quick read. You maybe saw me reading out loud. I do better with nonfiction if I feel like I'm presenting it to somebody. Again, sorry about the noise, but it gets cold, so of course the heat's gonna come on. But let me go through these comments. So I see, well, I have one comment so far. I see Kiana said I got to 14%. You did? Wait, let me go back. I feel like you said you were at 14% earlier. Or am I tripping? Let me look, look through the comments. Wait, which book are you reading again? Oh, you started at 9%. And the book is over 600 pages. Wait, are you reading The Priory of the Orange Tree? Or is it one of the books for February? I doubt it. I feel like Beverly Jenkins would never write a 600-page book, but I don't know. What are what are you reading that's over 600 pages? Oh Lord, Father God. Nicole said, not Nicole, sorry, Courtney at Tangible Read said, I like fantasy romance, a different perspective. Yes, yes, yes. I have yet to pick up a fantasy romance. I mean, the last one I think I picked up was a Court of Thorns and Roses series. I would like to try romantasy, but even me saying that sounds silly. Romantasy. But I think one of these days I may pick up. What is that one book that everybody is like hollering over? Fire, Wings of Fire. No, is it Wings of Fire? Fourth Wing. That's what it is. Uh, mm, I want to try just to see because I rather see for myself than to be going based off of what everybody else is saying. Um, Kiana said, "Sorry, 15%. Okay, 15%. Okay, so you were at 9% before. Oh, so you know, so me and you like basically are pacing around the same when it comes to 30-minute sprint, being able to get through 6 to 7% of our book. So that's good. Oh, you're reading Warbreaker. Are you reading Warbreaker as part of the buddy read with Princess from Castle Library? I know she changed around her book club books because at first I think Warbreaker was going to be in December, a little bit later in the year, and then she bumped it up to earlier in the year. Okay, you said yes. Okay, cool. I thought so. I was like, I know that sounds very familiar. You say you think you're really enjoying historical fiction. It's fun, isn't it? Like historical fiction can be a good time. It makes me upset sometimes, only because I know it's based, on actual history. But it makes it where learning different facts and stuff about certain time periods more digestible. So I'm with you on that. I enjoy a good historical fiction every now and then. Maybe it's an popular opinion, but I feel like history series where I was ready to just let me read it. That's where I was at. But yeah, Beverly Jenkins has really good audiobooks, and then the books are good as well. Oh wait, no, you say you're behind. Kiana said she's behind on her Beverly books. Why? What happened? Like you just wasn't feeling it, or you just not in the mood? Kiana said, "I think I'm not going to do any more TBR videos. I'm such a mood reader." And you see, like that's why I don't do them because I know me. Uh-uh. I can't stick to TBR because I feel like if I try to not TBR, I can stick to somewhat of a TBR. Like I need to be able to move around a little bit, but for the most part, I can't. Only because I know that if I do, it will put me in a reading slump, and I feel like I haven't had a reading slump in so many years. I don't want to go back. So I don't want to go back to that. But I get you. Like there's like just maybe next time just say hopefuls. Don't call it a TBR. Just like I have an idea of the books that I want to read, and this is what I may try to do. Kiana said other books just pushed them out, just push them out the way. No, wait. So wait, which book pushed Beverly like completely out the way? Was it Warbreaker? No, what Warbreaker? Was it the vampire series? What is it called? I forgot. Interview with the Vampire series. Was it those that pushed Beverly out of the way, or was it the current read that you're reading, which is Warbreaker, that just pushed her clean out the way? Because I was excited for February. I love the name, but like I said, that was the last sprint. So I'm gonna tell you all what I was thinking while I was reading because I was taking notes, highlighting stuff, and this is what I like my thought process so far about this book. I'm enjoying it so far. I see my mother, she already read it, so she did, kind of warn me that the book will come off kind of preachy, which is fine, but it's not that bad because I've read preachy books before, like that one book I tried to read by Eric T. Dyson, I think, and it was just too much for me. I couldn't handle it. Like handle it in a way that anytime he because he's narrating his own book, when he would narrate it, or even if I was reading it with my physical eyes and whatnot, I kept feeling like I was in a church where the pastor has his, I don't want to say has his foot in the secular world, but he knows so much about the outside world and whatnot that he tries to include it into his sermons or into his speech to be relatable. And that, I don't want to say it rubs me the wrong way because it doesn't rub me the wrong way. It just agitates me when it's overused. Because I'm trying to see if I can remember correctly. I feel like it was maybe like 3% into the book, and he had mentioned Jay-Z and Beyonce so many times. I was I was agitated, so I just stopped reading that book. But this one's not like that. He does his chapters are all listed based on, I guess, different beliefs, or not beliefs, but like different words. Let me show you, like faith, patience. So it's like different words that you should lean on when it comes to trying to make change, and that is it makes this book digestible. So like the first chapter is called Faith, the next one is called Patience, and it opens up either with a quote or a Bible verse. The next one is Study, then there's Truth, Act, Peace, Love, Reconciliation, and then it has photos. So yeah, I'm enjoying this book, but what I had not necessarily issues with, but like I felt kind of funny reading it because it almost comes off as like you should be willing to die for a change. That's what kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's almost like a martyrdom kind of speech going on. So I understand that he grew up in a different time. I'm talking about John Lewis, y'all. And he grew up in a different time. He was raised by deeply religious parents and stuff. And I have a friend that's deeply religious, and her faith is unshakable. So I'm pretty sure he's the same way, or he was the same way. I'm sorry, excuse me. He was the same way. So the way that he writes, it makes it seem as if anything is possible, right? I'm a realist. So when I'm reading that, I feel some type of way because I'm like, realistically, like you. why would you think that majority of us are willing to die for change? Not everybody is like that, you know. But yeah, that's just my little quip. I just felt kind of funny about that, and then he made me feel convicted because there was a part in here where he was saying what I should be doing, which I don't, and I know I'm bad about that. But I need to study more on the people that are in these positions because of course essentially there are our employees and it's our job to know what are they representing when it comes to us. And I'm bad about that. I may know a couple of people that's on the ballot but not all of them, so I would like to do better. But yeah, I was like, you had to call me out like that, John Lewis. But a question that I'm just not remembering. I had put a question. I posted it into the chat. I'm gonna tell you the quote real quick so you can understand what the grandfather clause is, and then you will see what I mean as to like why. Well, not why. I didn't say that. You know what I mean? Like when I saw the grandfather clause, if I had a highlighter, a physical one, I would have read it up because I can't believe somebody created a grandfather clause just to stop people from voting. Like how rude! What is wrong with you? Let me see. Where is it? Grandfather clause. Because that made me upset just to see that. I can't believe somebody would go that far to make sure that somebody can't vote. Where is it at? This happened, I don't know, maybe in the 60s. Okay, so here's the quote. So he said, some states used what was called a grandfather clause to retard our progress after the 15th Amendment passed. Anyone whose grandfather had the right to vote before the Civil War could continue to here I am tripping, hold up. Anyone whose grandfather had the right to vote before the Civil War could continue to exercise that right without any impediment. But if a person's grandfather had not been eligible before the war, then he or she had to take a so-called literacy test in order to qualify to register to vote in federal elections. Obviously, none of our grandfathers fell into the first category, so we had to be prepared to take that test. So after that, he starts to talk about the literacy test. And y'all, like, basically they made the test where nobody could pass it. And then the thing is, he keeps going on and on, right, about it. And then at one point he was like, oh, what is it called? The act, which act was it? Because he mentioned two of them. The Voting Act, I need to find it. I'll put it in my review. Anyhow, that one of the acts passed 1960 something. And he said, it's supposed to prevent gerrymandering and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that still happens now, though. There's a book out there. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called The Color Line or something like that, where they talk about how the maps are changing still, where somebody can or can't vote. I'm getting hot just thinking about it. So yes, this book is making me feel convicted. It's inspiring. And I look forward to reading more. Yes, I think I picked a really good book for February when it comes to my Buddy Reads group. Let me go to these comments. So let's see. Where did I stop at? Okay, so Kiana said she's behind on Beverly Jenkins books because she was going to do Beverary. It's okay. You can always do another one. Like you need to find a catchy name for it for another month. Let me know if you want to do a buddy read. I'm up for it. Okay, we can do it together. Then she said, I think I'm not going to do any more TBR videos. Other books push them out the way. So I'm just gonna let y'all be as surprised as at what I read as I am. Okay, bet. Okay. I like a surprise. Courtney said, I mood read through my TBR. I've changed up so much this month. Yes, and I witnessed it because you were like, I don't know if I'm going to pick up So Let Them Burn or Delicious Mustards. I don't know, but we'll see. Courtney said, dying for change ain't for everyone. Right. Child, because that's what I was getting when I was reading that one chapter, and he kept saying, one chapter about faith and how your faith has to be unshakable, and you have to be willing to basically not worry about not necessarily death, but it's like it's almost like he said you have to stare death in the face because he had, I wish I would have highlighted it. He mentioned something about how if you had to face your own fear every single day, eventually you know you're fearless. Basically, that's what I got from it. And I was thinking to myself, sir, like I have a fear of public speaking, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather be burned at a stake. Okay. Like I do not like public speaking. But if I had to do it every day, I can see what he means. Like you have to conquer that fear every single day in order to be comfortable. But at the same time, it's like if you're talking about in his instance when he was doing the sit-ins and doing the sit downs and then being put in jail. He talked about one of these jails, I forgot what it's called, some kind of farm where he said it's like the worst prison and it still is in America. That's what he said. I don't know. I have to go and look it up because I even started marking up different places, events, and people. That's how I kind of try to keep everything in perspective. He said that he was placed in that prison, and what their strategy was because they started to arrest people is to just get arrested, basically get arrested to the point that there's an influx of people that are there. He said when they were there, they would sing songs, this is a side note. If you grew up in the church, I don't want to say the black church, but I feel like it's a black church staple. I did not know I was singing these songs, the words to this song wrong. Mama, I am so sorry. I grew up in church. I was singing these words. Okay, so there's a song called, well, not song, but the lyrics go, woke up this morning with my mind stayed on blank. So I was singing the song, woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. And they said, no, the words is stayed on freedom. I didn't know it was is it supposed to be stayed on freedom? Because now this whole time I've been singing the words wrong if it is stayed on freedom. Well, do you all say freedom or Jesus? Because I said stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. But yeah, that was the funny part. Anyhow, he said they were singing those songs in the prison, and it got to the point where I think they were in the prison for like a whole month or 40 days or something. And they eventually just let them all go because there was nowhere to put them. But he said that after he faced that fear of being in that one prison that was the most dangerous prison in all of America, fearless. I'm like, man, I don't have that. I don't have that. Not all of us are born with that capacity, but I understand. It's like he just kept going, and like I said, it's giving martyrdom. Like you should be willing to die for the cause. Life is hard here, but I'm not ready to die yet. Okay, so let me shut up because y'all gonna play Jaleesa. You're crazy. Oh, let me answer my own question. So, what my favorite genre is? My favorite genre to read is horror because I like seeing how creative an author can be in making me scared based on someone's vulnerability. I don't mind slashers, but the horror that really gets under my skin is anything that is created around a person's vulnerability. That's why I think that certain books, especially like the Jordan Peele book, maybe a little bit hard for people to understand how it can be considered horror because you have to understand the vulnerability of a community, and specifically with Black people. So if you understand the vulnerabilities, that's how you can understand how it can be horror. So yeah, I enjoy horror, mystery, thriller. Like I like trying to figure out what we're doing and why we're here. But yeah, I could go on and on. I don't want to hold y'all too long. I had you here for 2 hours and 57 minutes, so I'm doing good. Let me get these comments and I'm gonna let y'all go for the night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. So hold on. Don't leave yet. Let's go through these comments. Hold on, let's see. Oh, Marissa. Hey, Marissa. Marissa's another booktuber as well. She said, oh my God, I finally caught your live. Yes. Hello. Hey, thank you for stopping by. It's so good to see you in the comments. I knew one of these days you're going to be in a live, so I'm so happy to have you here. You caught us at the tail end. Kiana says, I don't know much about politics. I want to learn, but it's daunting. Yes, it is. In the book, the way that he had built it up, I was like, God dang, I got to know all of this stuff. Like in my review, I'm going to take a screenshot of that section where I felt like Uncle John Lewis was reading me for filth. That's what it felt like. But yeah, we all have to do our job when it comes to making change. This is always a side note. I know I keep thinking about different things. I'm so sorry, y'all. Very tangential. Okay, just ride with me. So I don't know if I told you all, but I recently sat in on a discussion on Bookem, which is an app. The Bookem app, they had this Nook. So a Nook is basically a live discussion like here, but it's inside the app. And they were talking about King, A Life, which is the book that's written by Jonathan Eig or Jonathan Eig. His last name is spelled Eig. And they were talking about how or not how, but why is it that it feels like we can't make change as effective as the people before us. We're the next generation of people trying to make change in our communities. So why is it that we can't do it as effectively as they did? And then the main thing that kept coming up is that, they had organizations back then, and most of those organizations were built around the church. And so now it's no longer like that. And I'm thinking that maybe is one of the reasons, not the only reason, why we're not able to make effective change as our ancestors did. There also was discussion around um, like just being organized in general outside of the church. They even had this school. I forgot the name of it. Like I said, in my review, I'm gonna make sure I put it. But there's this school that they created, not the citizenship school. It's a different school, or up in Wisconsin, I think. They specifically created it for, I think, the Appalachian people up there, and then some of the people that were active in the civil rights movement, they went up there to learn different ways to make change with by being nonviolent. He listed several different names of different people that went to the school to learn different ways of doing that. So I feel like if we had something like that, it would be more cohesive when it comes to making change. Because nowadays, I feel like social media, it has its hands so heavy into everybody's minds that nobody can really focus on what exactly are the facts that we can work with, and how do we strategize around that to actually make effective change. Like, I hope I'm making sense. So yeah, if you rode with me and you understand where I'm going, we're here. So I'm enjoying this book. Let me turn it off, because if I keep going, we're gonna be here all day, and I know y'all got to go to work tomorrow. So let's see. Kiana. Oh, I already read Kiana. Okay. Courtney said, "I'm not shocked." Yeah, girl. See, like, it's like America would do anything to make sure that people can't get anywhere. Child, I'm tired. Uh, Kiana said the tests that they made were absolutely ridiculous. They were. They were. Even the most educated of people could not pass the test. And when the people did pass the test, I'm trying to remember what happened. He said that they created some kind of either classes. I think it was called a citizenship school. And they had people sitting in the classes to learn all the different questions and stuff, because they had to expect to do the test. So he said out of the 15,000 people, I think it was either in Mississippi or Alabama, only 300. I wrote it down. Only 300 of them could pass that test and vote. Mm, child. And people be wondering why I always say I hope that there's another planet that I can can live on. Like, because here is trash. Oh my God. But we've gotten past that. It's just that it's still happening, just in a different way, with different issues. Let's see. Woman watching said like the background scene. What background scene? Mama, what you talking about? What are you talking about? Uh, oh, thank you, Kiana. The color of law. What did I call it? The color lines. See, yeah, I'm not good at, but I was close. I had one of the words, the color of law. Yes. Oh, Mama's talking about Courtney. Okay. So Mama said, Wilma Washington, that's my mama, y'all, if y'all don't know that. She told Courtney that her background is very creative. Okay. Courtney said they used to make their wills before getting involved. Wait, what happened? Oh, the messages keep jumping. No. Oh, before getting involved with sit-ins. Oh my God. So that makes me so sad. And that's another, see, oh my God, I'm going on a tangent again. Y'all see I'm spiraling. So sorry. I have something else to say. So in this book, he I don't want to get sad because I'm not trying to cry right now. I think I'm trying to cry. I'm almost crying because my mother isn't here. I know my mother prays for me daily, not just me, but me and my sisters. So just to think that if we lived in the 1960s and she had to do that, I don't think my heart can take it because I want to come back home. Okay, but y'all got me crying in the club on here. Where's napkin? But yeah, I think about that kind of stuff. Anyhow, get back in. Let me stop crying. But yeah, just thinking about that, it makes my heart hurt because back then I don't see how he was able to get through all of that. Oh, just give me a headache. Just give me a headache. Uh-uh. Not today. Y'all got a couple of tears. You're not gonna get the the whole experience, not for free. But yes, I think about that. But he did mention how, his parents, he grew up knowing that they always prayed for him. And that's what kept his faith. So that's what's kept my faith as far as me being okay in the sense of being financially stable, being able to take care of me and my family, being able to get to and from work. I know that even if I am not praying, my mother is praying for me. And I know everybody doesn't believe in prayer, but even if you don't, everybody has some kind of faith. And he even mentioned that as well. Like even people that want to doubt faith, they end up having faith at the end of the day when they're facing something that is a challenge and they think they can't get over it. And I was like, that is a word. That is a word. Okay. Even if you, you see what I'm saying? Pick up this book. Let me see. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I just be going all over the place, but I hope you're still riding with me. Courtney says, "Thank you, Miss Woman." Yeah, Mama, she gonna compliment you. So wear your best. Alicia said, "We stayed on Jesus in church." Girl, that's my sister. Yeah, we stayed in church growing up. I was singing the wrong words. Am I singing the wrong words? I don't know. I feel like I have. I'm gonna still keep saying "stayed on Jesus." I'm not gonna say "stayed on freedom." Marissa said, "Yes, I love horror so much." Yeah, horror is my bag. I love horror. Oh my god, I'm so excited for the new vampire books that are coming out. I can't wait. I don't know if you've seen like the covers and stuff. One of these days I'll have to like make a video of all the different like vampire books and their covers and why I chose their covers, because the covers is what sucks me in. I love a good vampire story. I think I've told this story before. I feel like I have. Back in the day when I was younger, I used to think that I was a witch. I'm gonna just leave it there. Kiana said, "I like to think I would have been an activist, but I doubt I would have had the courage to." Right? That's what I'm thinking too. Like I don't think I have the spirit to be able to do that. I look up to people that are able to stand on business, get things done. They are fearless. Like I feel like if I were to stand in front of all those people and have to speak, my voice would start shaking. And they was and I'm pretty sure the masses will look up and say, "She ain't it. She is not it." At all. I rather support in the background. I want to be the person in the back that's making sure that everybody's being fed and taken care of. But if you want to put me in the front, I am not confident in that. Not now. I feel like with age I will be, but not now. Not now. But at least I'm being honest about it. I'm not about to play myself going out there pretend like, I am Shiro. Get somebody else to do it. I'll serve you your sandwich when you come back. Let's see. Okay, Courtney said, "I'm joining you." Thank you. I know I could be a lot. I'm getting passionate about this book. I didn't think I would. So I thank you all for getting me through it, because I had sat this book down and I did not pick it back up. But this is a nonfiction that I'm having a good time with. I just have so many thoughts and so many emotions. And it's a lot to handle. Marissa said next time she'll make it in the beginning. Okay. We look forward to seeing you next time. I don't know if I want to make this a habit or not. Like, I don't want to speak it into existence because I may fail myself. Like I said, I'm a realist. But if you all are willing to hang out with me until I finish this book, let me know. What I'll do is I'll just put up the same book so you'll know what book I'm reading. It'll help me get through it because if I don't have buddies reading along with me, this nonfiction would have stayed at 7%. So thank you all for getting me the 28%. And I'm enjoying it. So I feel like I'm gonna finish this book. Maybe not this week, but maybe next week. It's a good. And I'm really excited for my discussion with the Buddy Reads group because I have so many thoughts. So many thoughts. Courtney said, I've heard that the churches were central figures in Black communities in the civil rights movement. Yes, you're right. And I think that's why now, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, it may not be moving as not as I don't like saying as well, and I don't like comparing things like this, but I don't think it's making as much progress as the civil rights movement has. Another thing that he talks about, because I've gotten to the point where he's talking about patience, is that you have to take your time. I think it took them 2 years before they were able to actually have any kind of movement when it came to being able to vote, specifically in either Alabama or Mississippi, after all the other states were able to do it. But we live in a society where everyone is kind of like they have a popcorn mentality or a fast food mentality. They want things to go quickly. But sometimes in order to move the needle, it takes patience. It takes strategy. And like you said in the first chapter, it takes faith. And I don't know if our current state of society here in America in particular, I don't think a lot of people have faith. And then they assume that nobody really is doing anything. He brings that up too. Let me shut up because I will put this in a review. I'll put this in a review or I'll do it in my discussion with my Buddy Reads group. But he talks about that as well. So yeah, you're very right. The black churches in particular were the central point of everything. That's where everything merged together. That's what people connected together. People were able to strategize together. And then again, back then people had more faith. Now, I don't think so. The faith is maybe smaller than a mustard seed. Okay, that's what I'm getting from this current state of the U.S. Woman Washington said it's always been a power struggle. It truly has been a power struggle all the time. And I feel like the reason why it's like this only because there's that fact of inherent inequality that people believe in. They believe that equality is something that has to exist. And it's like, no, it's something you created, but you ain't hear from me. I'm trying not to be messy on this. Let me try. Let me stop. Let's see. Courtney says it's exciting, but also sad to hear the truth about what people like us had to endure just to sit here today, right? Stuff white politicians don't want us to know about in schools. And that grinds my gears. He mentions that as well, how people are working so hard to remove things out of history books, remove history books in general. He didn't mention this, but it's something that I know of. There are several schools that are still using books that are outdated. So they don't even know what has happened in between a certain amount of time. Their books are not updated. And then on top of that, you have the parents who most likely don't really care too much about history, so they're not talking to their children about it. And it's a vicious cycle. I don't like it, but what can I do about it? That's the thing. And that's where I feel like a heavy blanket of sadness because you want to help people, but there's only so much that you can do. But we need more John Lewises. That's all I'm going to say. I hope that there are some people that he was able to mentor before he passed away because we need the spirit of the civil rights movement from the 1960s to come back in the 2020s. You hear me? Let's see. Wait, one more watching said, I can't imagine how much courage and faith was needed to stand change. Right. I can't imagine. I don't know if I'll be able to face that. My heart would start beating too fast. That's why I think I told y'all before, I had to put down, what's her name? Tanana Reed Dude's book because it was stressing me out. And I want to finish reading it. It's just that I have to get my mind right because I start feeling like I'm the character and I'm going through all the injustices and I can't do anything for myself. And I just forget to breathe. So, but yeah, it's our history. We have to not necessarily embrace it, but acknowledge it, learn from it, and then make sure we pass it down because I don't know, like I feel like it makes it more difficult to move around here in the US. I don't know about other continents, but here in the US, if you are black and you don't know your history and stuff, you can be used and taken advantage of. And it's not me just talking crazy. Okay? Thank you, Mama, for all that you've done for us. You and Daddy. I mean, I know Daddy didn't really talk too much, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Uh, Marissa said, "Yes, I love vampire books so much. I would love to watch a video." Okay, that's what I'll do then. I love vampire and vampire anything. At one point in time, I thought about getting fangs, and I was like, "No, that sounds like I'm gonna bite my tongue and bite a hole through it." But I love vampires. There's only one vampire book that I did read that I enjoyed it, but not that much. It was called Darknesses by Lachelle Seville. That's just so alarm. Lachelle Seville, I enjoyed it up to a point, and then it's like after the 80% mark, the whole story just went off the rails. But it was good. It was like a Dracula retelling in a way, but not really. And Dracula actually had many forms. I think Dracula was, I'm trying to remember, because they can be a they, a she, and something else. No, Dracula was Dracula non-binary? Let me stop lying on this thing. I'm gonna put the book inside the description bar. You can look up yourself. But that book, it was okay. It just was a little bit too long, and it just went off, and I was confused. But it was okay. I think I gave it a 3. Marissa said, "Girl, I used to think I was a witch too." I did because after watching that movie Karina, it's an old movie that had Whoopi Goldberg and that little girl. Oh God, that was in a lot of movies back in the 90s. There's a part in the movie where the girl would blow at the stoplight, like so if the light is red, she would blow at it and it would turn green. And I thought I could do the same thing. So when it did happen, I was like, oh my God, I am a witch. I am a witch. Wilma Washington said, "I gravitate toward romance and nonfiction." Really, Mama? I'm not surprised about the nonfiction, but I think when you like romance, I think you like mostly like the Hallmark romance. Am I right? I think she's still here. Let me know, Mama, in the comments. Courtney said, "I don't think Black people are as unified as they used to be." Very facts, 100%, and that's so unfortunate because it's like we're already not unified because of colorism. Then you got classism. Then you got, I don't know, texturism, and then you got this. I don't know what to call it. That's happening here in America. Like I can't work with you. I can't do that. Or if you're not, is it? No. What is the What is the word? What is the ism that has to do with like your education? Oh my God, what is the word? Put it in the comments down below because my English is bad tonight. But yeah, we have so many things that are dividing us. I don't know if it's like inherent or if it's something that was created, but it's one of those things where I wish it didn't exist. It irritates me to no end when people cannot get along because of just stupid stuff, you know? But maybe one day it'll come back to be the way that it is. Like you said, practice patience. But how long are we supposed to wait till people can actually get together, unify, and actually make change? You see how easy they were able to overturn, some laws already. So it's like, what's next? What's next? Child, the ghetto called America. Lord. Wilma Washington says, Black education is the key, reading books. Precisely. That's why when I do, work with children, I always try to not necessarily push a book in their hand. I try to suggest the book and I say, read this, try this, try to read more. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that one of the children, my sister knows, that I tutor, when I asked him if he learned anything about Black history, the only thing he can name was Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, and I think that's it. I'm trying to remember. Kind of felt like it was not even a handful. And I said, they don't teach you. He said, no. Mm-mm. And I said, well, I hope that your grandparents, are teaching you or something because you just walking out here head empty. Mm-mm. It don't look good to me. I don't like that. I'm gonna make sure that my children know better. Mom said, put a book in the child. Yes, put a book in the child's hands. Like it's okay for them to use their little, phones and tablets and stuff. But every now and then, let's make time for reading. That's why when I do tutor, I always tell them like, if you're having a trouble area or something, think about your time bank. You have 24 hours in a day. So just I'm asking you to just take 20 minutes to read or 20 minutes to do some math problems. Take the time to do things. And after a while it would become a habit, but I know it's like I'm asking for them to move a mountain because you'd be surprised. A lot of kids nowadays cannot read, or if they can read, they can't comprehend. So it's just let's talk about something happy. Sorry. Uh, Alicia said Lifetime movies or LOL, Lifetime movies or Hallmark is right up Mama alley. It sure is. Mama likes a romance, but she want a clean romance, which I'm vibing with because I go both ways. I don't mind clean or dirty or dark romance. But if it's excessive hunching and stuff, I'm like, y'all, like get out of the room. Go take a walk. We don't have to be in the bedroom all the time. But I understand everybody has their thing. And I'm not kink shaming. Do you, boo? Do you, boo? A latte thought says popping in for a sec. Have been getting into fantasy mostly. YA, okay. Love the world building and dystopia because it makes you think. Like those genres the best. Yes, dystopians. This is the thing. I was talking to another friend in a Discord. We were talking about how dystopians, they had like this, there was an era of dystopians, like the Divergent series. Then you had Hunger Games as well. I think there was like what's it called, Maze Runner. There were a lot of different movies and books coming out at the same time. So it had its time, and then it's trying to come back. But I don't. I feel like now that's being pushed out of the way, and people want more romanticy. I don't like saying romanticy. But romanticy is like taking place. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I used to enjoy dystopian. Now not so much because I don't know. I think I'm just like waiting for something different to happen. You know what I mean? Like give me something to chew on. I want something different. I don't want the same old, same old. But I get you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Courtney, because words are not forming. Elitism. Sorry, I put an extra extra letter in there. Elitism is another thing that separates the Black community, and not just the Black community, but like everybody. I'm currently reading another book. What is it called? They're Vicious Games, and there's a lot of elitism in that book and racism as well. But it's not just Black people; it's a mixture of cultures. But the book so far, it has my attention. I'm getting a little bit annoyed with everybody name dropping these big schools. Like me no care, okay? I don't care about all these schools, but I get it. It's a book. You got to build a world up, and that's what it is. So, yeah. Thank you, Courtney. You got me with the words because the mouth ain't mouthing today. Um, Mama said yes, not so much as sex romance, but loving someone for being right, right. Yeah, you just like you want to be warm and just comfortable. Then woman watching said memory concierge love. That reminds me, Mama, I already spoke to the author and she said she's working on getting you a signed copy of her book. Oh, I'm so excited. If you all don't know, The Memory Concierge is another book that I reviewed on my channel. And the author, we may be able to get an interview with her. I don't know. I want to try to get an interview with her, or not even just an interview, but maybe like just a sit down so that the Buddy Reads group can talk to the author. Her debut book is called Memory Concierge by Lauren W. Roach. And I read it recently, but I'm going to read it again with my Buddy Reads group in June. So feel free, check out the review, see whether or not it may be up your alley. It's a nice, warm, and cozy book, but it also is a sad book at the same time because in my review, like I said, it had me thinking, like, what is my purpose when it comes to my family, especially when it comes to my husband and then my parents? Where do I fit in when I have to count, if that makes sense? So, like, if they're sick or they need help with something, where do I fit in? So, yeah. Check it out. Memory Concierge has a little romance in there, and then on top of that, it has some like think about things kind of subject matter. Um, let's see. Kiana said part of what turned me off. Oh, to what turned me off. Sorry, girl, I got me squinting over here. Part of what turned me off of the Vampire Lestat was the weird relationship he had with his mama. What kind of what kind of relationship was that? Wait, was it like a relationship like mama and I are not kissing on the cheek, we're kissing on the lips kind of relationship? Or what? I'm intrigued. I think the only taboo book that I read before where I was not necessarily I didn't have the ick, but I was just kind of like how that happened and why did you all pursue it? Was this book? Oh, what was it called? Oh my god! I'll put it inside the comments. I know I keep saying that. I don't remember the book because I just put it out of my mind. But in the book, one of the girls, she's sick, and I think she lost her twin to the same sickness. I think they either both had cancer or they had something to do with their spinal cords. I don't remember what it was. Or maybe kidney, something like that. Anyhow, the girl gets really sick and she decides to go to live with her father. So she goes to her father and live with him, even though she doesn't know him that well. And he has a new wife and a son or a stepson. Long story short, she falls in love with the stepson, or maybe vice versa. And I was like, oh, Lord, get me out. What is? I don't know. Maybe because it's a label thing. So, like, once I know that you're my stepbrother, why would I be looking at you like you a snack? That's how it was coming off to me. So it was all right. The writing was good. It's just the relationship gave me the ick. I ain't no way I'm gonna be dating my stepbrother. Mm-mm. Next. Kiana said, I love dystopian novels. I used to. I don't know if you can tell me some good ones that came out lately. Let me know in the comments because I feel like I got maybe burnt out or something because I didn't even go past uh the first Divergent book. I read the first one and then I watched all the movies and that was it. I didn't even try to go back. And then it's almost the same with Hunger Games. I read all the books, but no, I read books 1 through 3. I need to read the fourth one, but I stopped at movie 1 because I couldn't get into the rest of the series. Like I'm weird like that. Dystopian, it doesn't always work for me. Courtney said their Vicious Games was so good. I hope so. It's reading really fast. I don't know where I am. I think I'm at maybe 15% of their Vicious Games. And what I'm liking so far is like all this tension that's building up between what's her name? Adina and this other girl, Esme. Like, girl, what has happened? They already got in a fight. So I think I'm at the part where I'm trying to figure out what is the finishing. Is it a competition or something? Because they don't really go into too much detail about it, but it's okay. Like I'm here for it. I'm gonna keep reading it. Kiana said he turned his mama into a vampire and they kissed a lot. Why? Like his mama changed. Like I was so messy. I'm like, did he turn his mama and she started to look, beautiful? And he was like, Mom, you looking good. And then I guess no more cheek kiss and it just now is a lip kiss. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. But I can always use my pen and just mark through through those lines. Yeah. Wait, does it become more than that though? Because if it doesn't become more than that, I guess that's fine. Because I know some people they do kiss on the lips with their parents, and that's normal to them. That's not my normal. We don't do that in my household. I didn't do that growing up, but maybe that's how it is. Because isn't the author Anne Rice? Isn't she from New Orleans? I feel like I don't want to put it on all New Orleans, but I feel like that maybe that may be normal. Let me stop lying on the internet. I don't know, but still, I can see how that won't be a problem depending on the family as well as like the region of the person is from. It may be normal to kiss their parents, but on the lips, I don't know. I've been thinking of bumps and stuff. Ain't no way. That's why I get uncomfortable when I see people kissing babies on the lips. I'm like, we don't know where your lips have been, and if the baby starts getting a rash all of their face and stuff, that means that you had something and you gave it to the baby. Ugh. You know me, I don't like germs. And then Courtney said, like on my lips. Yeah, that's what I want to know too. Like, Kiana, if you're still here, please let us know. And if you're not, it's fine. I'm gonna ask you most likely tomorrow when you're in Nicole's sprint in the morning. Because I want to know. And eventually I am going to read that series by Anne Rice, but not anytime soon because that's a lot of pages. But I think that's it. That's that on that. Thank you all for keeping me company tonight. I got a lot of reading done, more than I would have alone. Excuse me. I hope that you all got a lot of reading done as well. I'll see you all maybe next week. We'll see. I know this is very impromptu and people got to go to work tomorrow. So maybe next Saturday I can, because this Saturday I had went to the movies with my sister and went to dinner and stuff with her and hung out with her. But next Saturday I shouldn't have anything to do. So I may or may not do another set of sprints just so I can make sure that I'm prepared to discuss this with my Buddy Reads group by the last Thursday of this month. So pray for me. You all have a good night. I'm about to sign out. And hasta luego. Oh, thank you. Courtney said, this was fun. Help me pack. There you go. Got something done. Yes. Oh, you have a good vacation. I just thought about that. Y'all tell Courtney to have a good vacation. Safe travels. Be good. And don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Wink, wink. Let me end the stream before I be acting a fool. Bye, y'all.